We have some breaking news here on Chicago Bears Now. Welcome in. I'm your host, Harrison Graham from Chat Sports. Byron Pringle injury alert. He has been placed on injured reserve by the Chicago Bears after leaving Sunday's game with a calf injury. That, of course, means he will miss at least the next 4 games. We're going to break this down, talk about some internal and external options that need to step up. External guys that the Bears could go out and get. A weak wide receiver group is now weaker. I mean, what do you want me to say, right? It's not like Byron Pringle has been lighting it up, but he's a guy that you expected to play a decent amount of snaps this year. Obviously, he had the injury in camp, missed most of camp, had an early catch this Sunday that went for decent yardage that he pulls up with a calf injury, left the stadium in a walking boot, and now he's on injured reserve. So what was already a weak wide receiver group is now weaker with Byron Pringle not currently available. The Bears tweeted this out, that Byron Pringle's heading to IR and that they have officially signed Joe Thomas off the practice squad, which that part of it probably not a surprise, right? We saw Joe Thomas elevated on Sunday as a practice squad game day elevation, played fairly well, and now he gets signed to the 53. That probably tells me, too, that Matt Adams could miss some time as well. He may not be able to play this week. But we're focusing more on Pringle, more on wide receiver today, but did want to mention Joe Thomas. How concerned are you about Pringle's injury? I think when you wrap it all together in terms of yet another receiver going down and worrying about this wide receiver group for Justin Fields, I mean, I'm at least at like a 70 or 75. Again, I don't think Byron Pringle is going to play a huge role at this point, but to not even have him available, it's just the domino effect. Now someone else is out. Now you probably got to get someone. It's not ideal. Scale it from 1 to 100, 100 being you're very concerned, 1 being you're not concerned at all. Like I said, I'm at like a 70 or 75. Because now you look at this Bears depth chart, right? Okay, Darnell Mooney. First of all, he's got to step up and start making plays, but at least he's healthy. Equanimous St. Brown, he's been your best receiver. You've got those 2 guys. What do you got after that, though? Pringle, he's on IR. Velus Jones, still nursing a hamstring. We'll talk about him in a little bit. Dante Pettis had a good week 1. He's done nothing since then. You've got Amir Smith-Marset, who's doing some things on special teams but hasn't played many snaps on offense. N'Keal Harry is still on IR at least for 1 more week. This group just isn't cutting it. I mean, let's be honest. This wide receiver group, even if fully healthy, is probably not good enough. And now you've got 3 guys down currently. Maybe just 2 guys down in N'Keal Harry and Byron Pringle. It's possible Velus Jones plays this week. Matt Eberflus said on Monday on the Bears coaches show that his hamstring injury is improving. He did have a lengthy workout before the Texans game. He was still inactive, but I do think he's closer. But even if he's active, I mean, how much can we really expect for him in the short term for this Bears offense? I mean, it would be nice to have his explosive playmaking ability, but you're talking about a guy that has played 1 preseason game, missed most of camp, and has not practiced much. I don't think we can just be like, yeah, Velus Jones coming in, he's going to be an instant upgrade from Byron Pringle. That seems unlikely, at least in the short term. N'Keal Harry, like we mentioned, he's still on IR at least until week 5. I haven't heard much tangible update on him. Hopefully he'll be ready to go by week 5. They'll be able to activate him, but we haven't heard anything. Maybe we'll hear something this week. I assume we'll hear something next week because he'll be eligible to come off IR then. But for this game, it doesn't help you against the Giants. And really, we don't know if he's going to be available in the next couple weeks. So we'll just have to wait and see on N'Keal Harry. The point being is you're thin at receiver, and the guys you do have aren't really that good to begin with. Isaiah Coulter and Simba Webster for short-term opportunities could be elevated on Sunday to help you against the Giants. Coulter had a pretty good preseason, so you've got that. But again, I mean, are these really solutions here? These are more of just bodies, right? These are guys that can, eat some snaps if needed. If more guys get hurt, they can play. That's kind of the purpose of the practice squad. I don't think Simba Webster, Isaiah Coulter are going to come in here and light the world on fire if it comes down to it. When breaking news happens, we hit you with the video here on Chicago Bears Now, so subscribe to the channel. The latest news and rumors here on a daily basis. Plus, every Tuesday, we go live at 3 o'clock Central Time, 4 o'clock Eastern, so join us. We're still going to do that. Just wanted to get this video out now because the news came down. I was like, I could wait 4 hours, or I could hit them with the news now and then go live like we normally do later. So that's the plan. We'll be live at 3 Central like normal. So join us then for our live episode of Chicago Bears Now. We'll answer all your questions. We'll talk more about this Pringle situation. And, of course, we'll have some other topics, including a week 4 preview against the Giants as well. All right, back to Pringle. You need a receiver. period. You got to go get a receiver. And I'm not even saying go sign Odell Beckham Jr., who's, available in free agency here. Like, I'm not saying that. I don't think that's even realistic. I don't think OBJ would come here. And by the way, I don't think he's ready yet. I still think he's injured. So I don't really think he helps you in the short term. Now, long term, I'd love to have OBJ, but I don't think he'll sign with the Bears. I think he'll go to a more established contender. You see Will Fuller, T.Y. Hilton, D.D. Westbrook, Deshaun Jackson. Jackson's kind of in the OBJ category of OBJ's not semi-retired, but Jackson kind of is. He's only going to play for a proven contender, and I don't think the Bears would fit that bill. I still think that T.Y. Hilton, with the connection to Matt Eberflus, and Will Fuller is still a young and explosive guy, although he's had a ton of injuries, make the most sense. They're the most likely at this point. Cole Beasley's with the Bucs now. He could be a Pringle replacement because he's a slot guy. He's on their practice squad. You could try to sign Cole Beasley off the Bucs practice squad, but I think Tampa would be like, no, we're just going to activate him to the 53-man roster, so that seems unlikely. You look at trade targets. Okay, maybe you can trade for someone. Well, Darius Slayton could still be a guy you go get, although we'll talk about Kenny Golladay in a second. If the Giants make a move there, they might have to keep Slayton. Denzel Mims, I'm intrigued by him. How much does Jets GM Joe Douglas want in a trade? I don't know. Tyler Lockett, Robbie Anderson, a couple of vets that have been linked to trade rumors. KJ Hamler has had a lot of injuries, the young receiver in Denver. Maybe a fresh start could make sense there. I wouldn't give up hardly anything for him. Conditional late-round pick. Same with Slayton. Mims might cost a little more, maybe more like a fifth. I would be surprised if a big trade happened like a Tyler Lockett. I could see the Seahawks shopping him near the trade deadline if they keep losing games here, but they're going to want like a second, third round pick probably. I don't know if Poles is going to do that at this point where the Bears are. Robbie Anderson, could you get him for a fourth? That I might be willing to pull the trigger on that because, hell, he'd come in here and play right away and probably be one of your more productive guys. So, I don't know. I think you need to get help at receiver. I said this yesterday. You can't force a move, but now with Pringle going down, you just don't have the bodies. Now, maybe they'll just elevate practice squad guys this week, but that's not a long-term solution. We'll have to wait and see how they approach this. Maybe we get more information later this afternoon. If you think the Bears need to get a receiver, join me. Type me in the comments. Let's go. You got to get some help in here. You were already struggling at this position, and now you've lost one of your vets in Byron Pringle that you were expecting to contribute. So type me in the comments if you think the Bears need to go out and get a receiver. All right, let's talk Kenny Golladay. I tweeted this out last night. I think you guys will stop asking me about Golladay, but we'll talk about him. Another bad game on Sunday night for the Giants. Dropped a critical third down against the Cowboys that would have given the Giants a big first down late. He dropped it after bitching to the media, I need to play, and then he gets an opportunity, blows it. Trade rumors continue to swirl. Jeremy Fowler reports that the Giants are willing to eat up a lot of his contract to move him in a trade, but I got to be honest. Stop asking me about Kenny Golladay. I don't like his attitude. He's the classic, he got paid guy and thinks he's entitled, but he's not proving anything. He has not been good in 3 years now. He hasn't been good since 2020 or 2019. He was hurt in 2020. Last year he stunk, and this year he's even worse. Stop asking me about Golladay. Even if the Giants eat a lot of that contract, you're still going to take on some money. Not worth it. Now, I will at least throw this out there. If he gets cut, which honestly the Giants might eventually just be like, you know what, we haven't found a trade, we'll just cut him. Sure, bring him in for a workout. If you want to sign him to a minimum non-guaranteed deal, we can at least talk at that point. Maybe he gets humbled at that point. But where things sit right now, I'm not interested in Kenny Golladay, and I don't think you guys should be either. I think that situation is a mess in New York. If he gets cut, maybe things change. I'm not trading for Kenny Golladay, though. All right, back to the news. Pringle to IR. He's going to miss at least 4 games. Again, calf injury, was seen leaving the stadium in a boot. Not good. Hopefully we'll get more injury details later, but if you're going to IR, it's somewhat substantial at the very least. Hopefully it's not season ending. Hopefully it's not like a shredded calf. Hopefully it's just like a grade 2 strain or something like that. It's going to be 4 to 6 weeks, but he's not going to be here for a month at least. Joe Thomas was the corresponding move. He gets activated from the practice squad. That does free up a spot on the practice squad if the Bears do want to sign one of these receivers just to the practice squad, because you can elevate those guys on game day up to 3 times before you have to make a decision on the active roster. That could be a possibility. We'll just have to wait and see. Joe Thomas did have 5 tackles in week 3 as he was a practice squad elevation. Now he's on the active roster. All right, appreciate you guys for tuning in. A reminder to subscribe and join us here in just about 3 hours. Pushing this out at about noon Central Time. So we'll see you guys then here on Bears Now, the latest Chicago Bears news and rumors. I'm Harrison Graham. Byron Pringle out for at least a month.